And now it's 38 people's favorite podcast, The Customer's Always an Asshole. Reading your customer horror stories, here are your wine-drinking buddies, Michelle and Melissa.
Well, hello.
Well, hi.
Well, hello.
Well, hello.
Jake is joining us tonight.
Yay, Jake. And who is Jake?
I brush my teeth, I comb my hair, and I put on my party pants.
Oh, good, because none of that can be seen on a podcast.
All right.
But I appreciate it nonetheless.
Of course. We've had a very Christmassy kind of day.
Good.
We
That's not bad.
Decorated, and we made some cookies. And I have
Sounds
some
delightful.
ham and potato soup in the crock pot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're really Christmassy.
Mm-hmm.
Christmasing it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am drinking my wine from seeing the Nutcracker last night because a double was a pint glass full of wine. So I smuggled it back home into my purse.
Holy shit. Wait,
yeah.
How did you do that without spilling?
They give you these like reusable cups with tops on them.
Oh.
Alexa, volume down.
That bitch. I called Alexa a bitch, and Jake saw, we can cuss on this thing?
Fuck yeah!
Sweet.
We have about estimated 30 listeners.
Woohoo!
Right?
You're like George and Wheezy, moving on up.
So
Please subscribe, rate, and review.
Should I send you my headshots then?
Maybe. Let's take it step by step.
Okay.
Oh, did you hear about Jimmy, Jake?
Oh, I heard that he had quite a blast the other night.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy decided to take off from my friend that was watching him in Santa Monica and roam the streets. Ended up crossing over a 4-lane road, very busy street, and ended up in a sex shop. Secret Desires. So this podcast is dedicated to Secret Desires on Lincoln Avenue in Santa Monica because they took very good care of my dog for the however many hours that we were. It was 6 hours we were looking for him on foot. I don't know how long he was in the sex shop. I don't know what he saw, but he was very traumatized when I got him back. But they took very good care of him.
He's exploring his sexuality.
Oh, he is.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit the podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast, woohoo, with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I should delve into the salon arena, the hairstylist. I worked at a salon for a while, and fortunately, I only heard one story.
Mm-hmm.
But this is apparently a common theme because when I started looking up these stories online,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of hairstylists experience this. Okay. So the salon I worked for, the lady that owned it and would do hair told me that she was washing a man's hair in the sink, and you can see, from behind them, their, what's it called? Their drape over them.
Oh.
But yeah, he was like jacking off underneath the drape.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. And apparently this is a common theme. Like, guys will go and while they're getting their hair shampooed, because you should get a good massage when you're getting your hair shampooed. But apparently that arouses many men. What? And they get a boner. Oh, yeah, Jake, so? Confirmed?
I'm going to have to deny on that one. That's just a little That's a little too much, in my opinion.
Oh, it's about to get worse.
Oh.
Who told you these? Where did you find these stories? And what kind
Okay, this
of
was
salons
my.
are they going to?
So this was the salon I worked at. The owner told me that, and then when I went online, I saw a couple of other people say the same exact thing. That guys will get like.
Are we talking
a
hair
boner.
salons? Or are we
Yes.
talking like weird massage parlors?
No, sucky. No. So I did find, this is from July of this year, and it's from a site called Maven, Mayvenn. Hairstylists reveal their wildest client stories ever. Now, some of these, I was like, okay, that title was a total clickbait. So this one is from Liz McCourt, and this is actually from BuzzFeed. So they're doing so this is like the 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I stole from Maven stole from BuzzFeed. I'm telling it to you. Elliot, stop barking. Okay, so Liz McCourt says, I was cutting a woman's hair in beauty school when her husband walked in, stood right next to me, and whipped out a ruler to make sure I was cutting exactly the right amount. He kept measuring every piece as I cut and instructed which sections to cut or texturize and which to leave. Hardest haircut ever.
Sounds like he wanted to cut her hair more than the stylist did.
Yeah, maybe he should learn. That's husbands being assholes. Adele Feitler from Reddit. I had a guy start jerking off under his cape when I was shampooing him. The hilarious part, I don't know what part of this is hilarious, but the hilarious part, I usually do my clipper over comb work dry, finishing up the hairline first. Shampoo, then finish the rest of the cut damp. I kicked this guy out of the salon with half finished hair. I would too. Although, what if you're wrong? What if he was like, oh, I have a pencil in my pocket was stabbing me, so I pulled it out.
What if he had a weird thigh itch?
Or putting on lotion and under the cape.
Did she actually see a hand and a penis?
There's many questions, a lot of follow-up. You'll find out, Jake. We just have so many questions about these stories. Okay, so here's another one from Maven through Reddit to me, to you. I had a client whose hair so dirty, it smelled like soggy chicken nuggets and had layers of hardened grease in the scalp where the hair had naturally dreaded itself. I don't know if, dreaded like dreadlocks. Maybe.
Oh, dear God.
I washed it 5 times and could not clean it or get the smell out.
Oh.
I think I just vomited in my mouth.
I don't think I would be a hairdresser. Well, that's kind of why I couldn't be a hairdresser.
Because people got nasty heads.
People are nasty.
Yeah, nasty.
You know, for the longest time, I didn't know how dreadlocks were formed. And when I found out, it just absolutely disgusted me.
Tell us. I don't know how they're formed. I thought you just ratted them.
They are literally formed by not taking 1 drop of any type of cleaning products to your hair. You don't wash your hair. You don't
dreads
do it. And over time, it
just gets matted.
Like the grease build up and all the shit in your hair, you just start forming it to these locks of dreads.
Wait, so this isn't like a style that you put some sort of product or rat it and mesh it down, or
I think probably at some point they start to form it like purposefully, you know what I mean? Like maybe they use product or whatever and they start to twist them, but you have to go a while and let your hair get nasty and matted before you can start forming them.
And it stinks really bad.
Who wants to do this? God, I didn't know all that. I thought it was like a style that you know, like when you get cornrows or something like that. Like it's a style that you
pay someone to
create
your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You can get dreadlocks for free via not taking a shower at your own home.
Well, alrighty then.
Yeah. So
money saving tips from Jake.
Yep. Don't shower,
Thank you
don't
very
wash your
much.
hair, and
Thank
you'll
you
look
very
like Bob
much.
Marley.
That's all it takes. Okay, so now we're off of Maven, and I went straight to BuzzFeed since all of these were coming from BuzzFeed. I'm like, let me just go to BuzzFeed. This one, oh, here's a good username. I4697FE8CD. It's probably a password.
Sounds like someone is half robot.
Yeah. So this robot says, a gorgeous young woman came in one late afternoon to get her roots touched up. She was a dancer at a local strip club and had recently gotten cheap breast implants out of state. The implants were now infected, swollen, painful, and oozing pus. Plus, she had a fever. I begged her to let me call an ambulance, but she was determined to get those roots done and catch her flight back to the doctor that night. I still wonder if she's okay.
That's disgusting.
I'm sorry, but if you got
Painful.
coming out of the boobies, yeah, the last thing on my mind would, my roots look good?
Right.
Roots. Don't worry about
Take
the
care of that
swollen
pus first.
pus buckets on my chest.
Mm-hmm.
But my hair looks great.
So, and this is my like asshole stories, because you're bringing your poor stylist into it.
Yeah.
You're not like dealing with this stuff on your own. You're like forcing other people to be involved in your boners and your dreads and your pussy boobs.
Yeah. Pussy boobs should not be allowed outside of your own home or in a hospital.
Well, I guess we just figured out the name of this podcast. Pussy boobs.
Oops. Pussy boobs and
Yes.
Oh God, I'm.
You guys sound like you're breaking up a lot.
No, we're still together. As mother and son.
We don't fight often.
Oh, rewind. Did we even say who Jake was?
Absolutely not.
Do we want to know who Jake is?
Sure.
I think you're too, because hello. Those of you who don't know me,
Yes.
I go by Jake, Jacobo,
PB and Jake.
PB and Jake.
JMP.
Dream Machine.
I am probably one of, if not the best nephews to Michelle.
Yes.
And
This is true.
an award-winning son of Melissa.
And only.
Yeah. Yes.
So, no competition, which is good.
Well,
Okay, good.
I probably win, so.
Now that we are 15 minutes in and we have the introductions made, let's carry on. All right. So here is from Facebook by Ellie Agler, Agler. She says, my hairstylist friend had a client who had a busy career and would usually just shower and immediately put her hair into a bun or ponytail. This went on for a year or so. Wait, try this again. You know what's funny is I'm reading this off of my phone and I have it like on the smallest font possible. Like I'm not blowing up the pictures or anything. Okay.
Do it.
Let me try this. And I'm drinking wine. All right. So this went on for a year or so until the client finally came in for a haircut. When my friend ran her fingers through the client's hair, she felt what turned out to be disgusting fungus mold substance growing on her scalp. Needless to say, the client ended up getting a pixie cut. I was thinking, okay, so after I read this, I kept thinking, is it possible to just wash your hair, put your hair, so it doesn't say wash your hair. She said just shower and immediately put her hair up into a bun or ponytail. So maybe it was moisture building up in that bun or ponytail without her washing her hair.
And she would never dry it?
I guess not. Or even if it dried, she would get it wet again. Maybe they're in Florida. Maybe it's like a heavy, dense place.
And you mean to tell me this whole time she doesn't know she's got fungus growing on her head?
Right. You can't smell that. Nobody else can smell. Nobody can tell you.
That makes her an asshole just because.
Yeah, she says, my hairstylist friend had a client who had a busy career. Nobody at work told you? Girl, you stink. Your hair smells like fungus.
She probably had mushrooms growing out of that thing.
Mm,
And it's her
that
profession
is so gross.
to deal with hair.
Maybe in her
She was a
profession.
She was a hairstylist?
This is just a friend telling her friend's hairstylist story.
Oh, I thought you meant the girl who's had the fungus was a hairstylist.
No.
That would have been double asshole.
I think it's already a double asshole. We need an asshole meter.
That one's really high on the red zone of the meter list there.
Okay, so here's another good username. Karen, KARINM 46677B439. Thank you very much.
What? These are people's names?
Their usernames on BuzzFeed. Karen says, a woman called asking if we could shampoo her hair, so I said, of course. Before I start, she tells me that she hasn't washed her hair in a back injury. Big yellow and brown chunks started coming out of her hair during the shampoo.
Oh.
I started gagging from the terrible smell and had to breathe out of my mouth to finish the service. I have to breathe out of my mouth just to finish this story. Okay, back to the story.
God.
Shortly after the service was done, her father came in and paid. He then told me it's been a year since she washed her hair and there was nothing wrong with her back. She's just lazy. After they left, customers were complaining about the smell. We used almost a full can of Febreze to get rid of it, which I need another drink of wine for that one.
How could you go an entire year? And how did her hair not get dreaded up?
Right. And even if you did have a back injury and you were in bed, like, wouldn't you have somebody come in and wash your hair or something?
Yeah.
But no, she was just lazy.
That's gross.
I feel no sympathy.
No.
I feel for the salon.
These are all very gross stories now that I'm thinking about it.
These people are little assholes.
So, BuzzFeed again. Bree Martell 1-2. My grossest story is about a client who told me he only cuts his hair twice a year. I thought, okay, whatever. But then during his haircut, I noticed a poop stain on his pants. Don't worry, I bleached my chair afterwards, she says, and some green-white gunk covering the back of his ears. And as I was trimming his beard, chunks of food and beard hairs flew everywhere. I don't even know how I kept a straight face.
Food?
Yes.
Food in his beard.
Yes.
I'm all about saving snacks for later, but are you shitting me?
Tupperware, people.
He had food flying out of his beard when she was trimming it.
I believe it. Have you seen Briny? He gets food in his beard.
Yeah, but any normal human wipes their mouth right after.
Yes.
So he was like carrying it around with him.
Must have been.
He gets a haircut.
I mean, if
every
he had
2 years.
crap in his hair and behind his ears, yeah.
And why the poop stain? I mean, what's that about?
I don't know. But there always has to be poop on this podcast. Okay, here's one that's really just a customer being an asshole. So this is from Heather Dingman on Facebook through BuzzFeed. Through me. To you. When I was in school, a woman came for... Let me start over. I had to make this bigger. I'm going blind. When I was in school, a woman came in for a wash, blow dry, and a flat iron. I had already straightened about half of her hair and was about to start the section around her ear. I placed the flat iron on my cart for a second, and all of a sudden she screams and jerks forward. The woman then starts yelling at me how I just burned her ear on purpose and that she wants her money back. Surprise, surprise. That was me saying surprise, surprise. Meanwhile, I'm standing there looking at the flat iron that's still on my cart.
So she got accidentally burnt?
No, she didn't. So the hairstylist put the flat iron down
and for a second, and then the lady just starts screaming and jerks forward like she burned her. And she's like, my flat iron's on my cart.
What a
So,
dick.
customers are assholes.
Why?
What's your plan here? Have half of your hair done and leave the salon?
Yeah. So, yeah, what are you going to do? You want a full refund, or you want to just get a free, but you're not done yet? I don't know.
She didn't really think that one through.
Yeah. People are assholes.
Assholes tend to not think, so.
Mm-hmm. Here's a tie-in to the last podcast. Breton Staley from Facebook. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Worst thing I ever experienced was when I was shampooing a client. I thought she had a cartilage stud earring in, so I was careful not to hit it. Then I noticed that the stud had legs. There was a freaking tick on this woman's ear. I finished the wash as calmly as possible and led her to the stylist chair, where the stylist casually pulled the tick off with a towel. I felt like bugs were crawling on me the rest of the day. So they must have just been washing her hair and then dropped her off.
What is with people and ticks crawling out of them?
No, ticks seem to be a real huge problem with people.
Do these people live in the woods?
Maybe.
Are they mountain people?
Mounties. They always get their man.
Was it like their pet? Did they know it was there? What
they lost their pet.
How do you not feel or notice a tick on your ear?
If you've been somewhere where you know there's ticks, aren't you supposed to be responsible enough to check yourself?
Well, so where's ticks? Camping. If you were in the woods camping, you didn't go home. Did you just come back from camping and you went straight to the hairstylist salon?
Yeah. I just don't understand.
Stop at home, take a shower.
People have no
common sense.
Common sense, no moral
decency.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. People are disgusting.
I like dogs and about 4 people too. So. Okay, so this one is from our friend.
Okay.
That owns a salon and has done hair for a long time. She says, actually, one of her stylists says that she lives in Capitola and travels into Danville. So that's
Jesus.
Yeah, that's quite far for those that don't know Northern California. A couple hours, especially with traffic.
At least.
She travels 3 days a week and works in the salon. Her and her husband. Their apartment was flooded and her landlord has been dealing with it. So she's already stressed out to the max. She was telling her client that her landlord had just called and said that they had to get all of their stuff out because the place is flooding and the next day. And she was worried because she couldn't leave work. And the client said, so my hair, this isn't really working. I need more gold. My bangs are too thin. And I'm thinking shorter this time. So basically she was being, as the stylist owner called, see you next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, total cunt. But it's kind of sad because when you're a stylist or in any service industry, you really have to be on happy and, hey, everything's fine with me. How are you? And then all their stories and their problems, you're a therapist, but don't get paid for it. So this poor girl finally has is having a breakdown over her stuff, and the client just cares about her hair. So I guess it doesn't work both ways. So there's a client that would go see her husband that owns the salon with her for a cut and liked how she did the color. So came to her. So there was 2, a client does haircut with one person, color with the other. And she says, I have no idea why, because she complained every time. I did her hair 8 times, and she said I did more blonde on one side than the other, and said she would like her husband to oversee me doing for the next appointment so he could teach me how to do it correctly. If somebody told me that, I would be so fucking pissed.
I would say then, why don't you have your husband do your hair?
Why don't you go somewhere else and get your fucking hair colored then, lady?
Right. So she said to her, yeah, I don't do that, and booked her with him.
Yeah, that's a total asshole right there. Why don't you just have your husband do your hair in the first place?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Well, it's the salon owner's husband.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of stupidity going on around the whole salon business.
Yeah, I have never heard anything horrible like when I talk to my hair girl and stuff, but I have heard, like, she has said that, you know, people will come in and with, like, you know, super dark hair and then show her a picture of, like, when Kim Kardashian went platinum blonde and be like, I want to be like this. And she's like,
right.
Do you realize that Kim Kardashian has money and time that you don't have?
Yes.
You know, who can sit.
Lots of both.
Yeah. And you have jet black hair. It's not going to just be platinum within, like, and they get upset, or they'll, like, show her pictures, like, on their phone, and she has to tell them, like, you know, because it won't turn out exactly the way they thought. And she has to remind them that, like, pictures on a phone or your computer or whatever, it's not going to be the same color as in real life.
Yeah, you don't know where that hair started as. Right. It could have been almost blonde to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know how many processes they went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on top of that, I would say probably 90% of celebrities' photos on the interweb are photoshopped and touched up very aggressively.
Well, and so many of them are wearing wigs now too. Like, right. Really, really good wigs that you can't really tell if it's
very
a wig or not. So you can't just say, oh, I want to look like this and expect it to happen in an hour and a half.
Because honestly, you're probably a basic bitch.
Basic hair. That's basic mousy brown color.
And it basically makes you an asshole.
And you're basically an asshole.
I really do enjoy the stories you share with us.
Oh, I'm so glad.
They reiterate how much I think people are fucking assholes.
That's right. And my dogs are being assholes right now. Stop barking. I'm going to have to edit the shit out of this. Elliot, quiet. I'm just trying to sit here, podcast, listen to Christmas music, talk to you guys, drink a glass of wine.
Is it
too Is it too much to ask for you guys to shut the fuck up?
Jimmy's probably just upset and wants to be back at the sex shop. That's probably why he's barking.
True.
He's trying to get your attention.
You want to go back to Secret Desires?
I think it's hilarious. Didn't they say he was hiding behind dildos or something?
Yes, there's a picture of him hiding behind the corner of 2 displays. And the guy shows me the picture. This is where he was hiding and we were trying to get him out of there. And it's like fake vaginas, dildos, toys. And I'm like, yep, that's my dog.
So awesome.
And the Santa Monica Police Department.
Shout out.
They were all wonderful.
SMPD.
So-called Christmas music in the background.
Can you hear that? It's a mix of horses, and Elliot chewing up a Christmas toy.
Horses? That's a Christmas song?
I don't know what it's called. Winter one. And then the sleigh bells ring. Ding, ding, ding. Lovely, we're going to sleigh ride together with you. Is that the name of the song?
Outside the weather is cozy.
Yes.
I think it's Winter Wonderland. No.
Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up.
Let's go. Let's look at the snow.
Hi ho, hi ho.
We're walking in. I think it's Winter Wonderland or something like that.
You know what? Let's see if
Can I do Shazam right now without kicking us off? Sleigh ride.
Sleigh ride.
Santa Claus's party. Well, that
All
was not what I thought it was called. All right. Well, shit. I guess that's all I have for now.
Hello?
Wait, how are you? Are you guys all on? Are you guys like hugged up on the same phone?
Yeah.
Are you guys sharing the mouthpiece?
We're just holding the phone in the air, talking to you.
Oh, so you're on speakerphone.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I
Thank
do
you.
And don't.
Is this
my
what
mouth.
this is called?
It's
Speakerphone.
none of your business.
So I think what I'm going to have to do is send you a microphone,
Mm-hmm.
and you can plug a connector into it and have two microphones.
Two. Uno, dos.
Yes.
Okay.
Dos.
Dos. All right. How do you say?
Yeah, so-
How do you count in French? Does anyone?
Trois.
Un, deux, trois.
Un,
That's 1, 2,
trois,
3. That's all. I know.
tres.
It is trois.
Un, deux, trois.
Yeah, it's
That's
trois.
3.
How did you-
Like menage a trois.
Oh. Wait, that's 3.
Yeah. Trois.
Voulez-vous que-
Two.
Yeah. Do. Un, deux.
Like
Two
am
is
two
two.
burger. Two burger. Trois.
I have a feeling that Jake is not correct, but sounds incredibly convincing.
No, seriously, trois is 2 in French.
No, it's
No.
3.
It's 3 because menage a trois means 3 people.
Jake doesn't know that, and he's going to get into some hairy situations. Listen to the next podcast where Jake got into a hairy situation in a menage a deux. Like on, deux, trois,
De lo. Trois.
or 2. I'm looking it up. Do. D-E-U-X. De. De.
G-
Speaking of menage a trois, their prosecco is actually really tasty. I don't know if you've ever tried it.
I have not. I will have to give it a shot. I might have to switch over to some champagne during these. The red wine's a little too much for me. Great. Now I got to clean up. The dog shredded a fucking toy. So now I have to clean up a bunch of fucking
Where's Nick?
shit everywhere. He does not want to hear us podcast.
Oh, so does that mean he'll never do one?
I think that he might do one, but I really think that he thinks I'm annoying and he doesn't want to listen to me. Merry fucking Christmas.
He's an asshole.
Yeah. You know who's husbands are assholes. New podcast. Fuck this shit.
Oh, there's so many things we could podcast about.
Yes. And this is going to be bad for my 8-year-old niece that's going to be listening to this.
Oh, you shouldn't be listening.
We have a new warning label.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to create one.
Oh.
Are you chewing on the wall? Hey! What the fuck do you think you're doing? Elliot! No! No! He's chewing on the baseboards.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Is he teething?
Not my house. Not really. Not anymore. Oh my God. This is all being cut, by the way. I feel like I'm rewarding him for just chewing on the wall. I can't believe he did that. Should have smacked the shit out of him. All right. Now I'm just rambling. I'll go ahead and edit.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Thank you both for being on and listening to me.
So
Talk about stylist stories.
it's always a pleasure.
Hopefully somebody learned something from this. Don't be an asshole. Don't go to your stylist with freaking green gook and pussy boobs. We're now on social media.
The Google machine.
Social media. Social media.
All right. Well, you have yourself a good evening. I bid you adieu.
This is a very French episode.
French fries.
French dressing. Well, I hope you join again, Jacob.
I'd love to.
I think it will be a fun time having a male perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're available. Otherwise, we're doing the shit without you.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Okay. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
People are stupid.
This is Melissa.
And this is Michelle. Thanks for listening.
Send your asshole stories to
AholeStories@gmail.com.
text or leave a message at
702-551-2011. Standard rates apply. And don't forget,
don't be an asshole. Bye.